Fozzy Audio's first real serious DAC is here. Is it any good? Yeah. Sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about the Fozzy Audio ZD3. Full transparency, Fozzy Audio has sponsored this channel in the past. They are currently sponsoring the channel. Going to have a couple of mentions about their products in other videos. And while this video is not officially sponsored by Fozzy, I'm not really going to be talking about, ooh, this is the best DAC out there. I'm going to be talking about what this DAC is like. In a different video, I'm going to compare it to some other DACs at the price point. But right now, we're just going to kind of walk through it. It sounds great. We'll go through the specs and everything like that. But I don't want to be called... Listen, I want to be called a shill anyway. But I wanted to be 100% transparent. Let's look at it.
Back in that bag again. Whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah. Hey. Back in that, yeah. Tell them to watch it. Now I ain't talking my pockets. Just know we ain't running out the way that we stock it. If I got it, you got it. If I call it, she slide and tell her to mop it. Yeah, I got that on. Damn, she took that thing off and bring it around. Going at it till I'm on. Put that 90 in a hole, I'm beating it.
Obviously, this has very similar dimensions, if not identical dimensions, to the ZA3, the amp that it is matching. Over here you have the limited edition volume knob. I don't know if that comes with it. I think the retail price is going to be $179. If you do the Kickstarter, you get 20% off, so that's less than $179. And coming in at, what is $179 times 80%? This is gonna be $143, which is pretty good for a DAC. And it has HDMI. We're going to get to that later. As far as it looks, it's fairly cool. The display right here is something I don't think I've ever quite seen before. It's like a little circular porthole. And when you push the different modes, the mode changes up in this one little corner. It's kind of cool. Boop, 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 boop. Of course, volume right here. And the cool thing about the ZD3 is that now you have volume control for your ZA3 without having to actually go up and touch the volume knob on the ZA3. Also some nice touches right here on the front faceplate. A little bit of an indentation right here. Overall, this thing is built very, very well. No ventilation on the sides of this. You don't really need it because you're not putting out too much heat. On the bottom, you have a bypass switch. I don't know really what that's for. On the website, it says ensures unaltered audio quality by directly routing signals, bypassing internal controls for pure sound delivery. I thought it would bypass volume, but it doesn't look like it does because you still get volume control even when you're in both modes. So I'm not exactly sure what this is bypassing.
Back in that bag again. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Hey.
Let's check out the back of this thing. Over here you have a full-size USB. Next to that, yay, HDMI ARC. Above that you have a 12-volt trigger in and out, which I love. Coaxial input next to that. You have one single RCA output, one set of XLR outputs. Okay? One thing I wish is they would please just add an analog input or two. Hopefully in the future, Fozzy Audio will release just a regular preamp. Put a DAC in it too, but preamp. That would be awesome. 2, maybe 3 analog inputs with a DAC. Perfect. But at $179, $143 on sale with a bunch of giveaways like some op amps that you can switch out. Oh yeah, you can swap op amps with this. Speaking about what's under the hood, Comes with the Sabre 9039 Q2M DAC chip inside. For Bluetooth, you get AAC, aptX HD, regular aptX, and SBC. AAC is for your Apple devices. aptX, both of them are for your Android devices. SBC is for everything. I didn't use Bluetooth. I don't use Bluetooth because it's super easy to put a Weem Mini or a Weem Pro or a Weem Ultra onto this little thing. The pre-sale also comes with some extra op amps. Also comes with a 7th anniversary fridge magnets. Also comes with a 7th anniversary custom ZD3 knob. This right here. Also comes with a wireless volume knob. First 20 customers. I didn't really understand that. They sent me one of those. I don't really understand how to work it though. But you get a wireless volume knob if you're the first 20 customers. Website is pretty interesting because it goes through a whole bunch of different op amps and kind of says, this is what they sound like. Warm, smooth, detailed, musical, neutral, clear, balanced. That's the JRC 4580D. And it has a Sparkos, transparent, detailed, wide soundstage. Even gives you the genres of music that it thinks these op amps pair well with. I think that's very cool. Inside you have 3 different op amps to switch out. I'm assuming that 2 are for the balanced and 1 is for the single-ended output. And these are all probably dual op amps. Yes, those are all dual op amps. So you can switch out the dual op amps. If you're only running single-ended RCA, I guess you only need to swap out 1 op amp, but I don't know. I didn't crack this open. I don't like cracking these things open and start messing around with it because a lot of this stuff I give away to patrons, which incidentally, if you want to join the best hi-fi community out there in the world, check out patreon.com/cheapaudioman. We have patron-only Zooms, patron Discord, patron Facebook group. It's awesome. Try it out. You can quit if you don't like it. Trust me, people do it all the time. All right, let's talk about how it sounds. Looks like the Kickstarter crowdfunding is for the volume knob, and the ZD3 is just at pre-order right now. But let's talk about how it sounds. It sounds like a typical Sabre 9038 or 9039. Great soundstage, great instrument separation. Doesn't have that beefy oomph on the bottom that the AKM 4499 has or the AKM 4493. However, as far as sonic characteristics, I think the ZD3 sounds awful similar to the SU1, but everything is just better, larger, better instrument separation. This, okay, is important. This works off of a 12-volt external power supply. So it's a wall wart. It's a 1.5 amp power supply, which means you can take a linear power supply with the 12-volt output and run the ZD3 off of that, which is another way to upgrade this product. I'm going to compare the ZD3 to other similarly priced DACs as far as performance goes in later videos, but as it stands, at $179 or $143 on the pre-sale, you're getting a very good piece of equipment. Obviously, if you already have a ZA3, this is going to look very pretty. You can also run this into the V3 mono blocks. Most importantly though, and I'm glad they included it, is the HDMI input, the ARC input. Because if you have an Apple TV or any type of smart TV, you don't need a streamer, really, because you can install a bunch of apps on the TV. So you don't need an external music streamer. However, I would still get an external streamer. The DAC inside is better than the DAC in the Weem Ultra. Cleaner, clearer, more instrument separation. Not night and day better, but it is better. And with different op amps, you can make it even better still, or at least tailor it to what you like. Of course, I'm a big fan of Sparkos op amps. I think if you put 3 Sparkos 3602s, the dual op amps, this is going to be really, really good. And you put a linear power supply on it, this is going to be really, really good. I think iFi may even have a low noise switching 12 volt power supply. I don't know. I know they have a 5 volt, but I would just save up and get a 12 volt linear power supply. So if you want to pre-order the ZD3, you get 20% off, brings it to $143. I don't know when it's going to ship. Hopefully it's before the end of the year. I have no problem recommending this DAC. We will see how it stacks up against other competition at its price. But even at its retail price of $179, I think it's going to do pretty well. If you want to support the channel, you can use the links in the description. Those are affiliate links, which means if you click and you buy, I get a commission. It doesn't cost you anymore though, so it's a great way to support the channel. You can also check out Patreon, which we already talked about. You can also throw me a super thanks button down at the bottom of the screen next to the share button. You can also just like this video and subscribe. If you like this video, check out my video on the ZA3, the matching amplifier. Thank you so much for watching.